Let us understand details related to print and input functions. Print is primarily used to print the strings on the console, while input is used to accept the input from console. Input will typically prompt the user to enter the value, and we can assign to a variable and use it further. The type of this value will be of type string, and hence we need to convert the data type of the values entered before processing. Let's see an example here. You can get the help on input. It says forward raw input to front ends. In this case, I am taking two inputs. One is first value and second one is second value. I am assigning those two to A and B, and I'm going to use the A and B as part of the print statement. Now it will prompt us twice. In this case, I have to pass integer values because I want to add integers only. That's why I'm typecasting the values to integer type. I am passing 4 here, and then I'm passing 5 for this prompt. Now you can see the output. Sum of first value 4 and second value 5 is 9. So this is how you should be able to use input to actually take the input using the console and process it further. When it comes to print, when we use print with one string, by default it will have new line character at the end of the string. So in this case, if I say print hello and print world like this, there will be a new line character, and you can see that hello and world are printed in 2 different lines. However, print take multiple strings because it accepts varying arguments, and space will be used as delimiter if you pass multiple strings. So in this case, if I pass both hello and world to print directly, it will actually use space in between, and you can see the output as hello space world. So when it comes to print, it takes 2 keyword arguments. One is sep and another one is end. Using these two, you should be able to customize the behavior. So in this case, instead of a new line character, if you wanted to use empty string as the final string as part of a print statement, as part of the end, you can pass empty string like this. Now, if you run this with the 2 print statements, you can see that you see hello and world together. Also, when you pass multiple strings to the print, if you wanted to change the delimiter from space to something else, you have to use sep. Sep is for this purpose, and end is for when you want to use multiple print statements and want to change the behavior by replacing the new line character with some other character. Now, this will also return hello without any delimiter world, even though we pass 2 arguments. Without this, there will be a space in between. Now, let's say I want to say hello world, then space hyphen space how are you with the spaces in between. We can actually use the print statements like this. So in this case, we are saying hello and world should be separated using space with comma like this. So hello comma space world, and then the delimiter should be space hyphen space, and whatever is passed as part of the next print statement should be printed. So it will actually give us the output of hello comma space world space hyphen space how space r space u, all in one line. You can see here. So this is how you should be able to use the additional arguments along with varying strings when it comes to print. However, you might not be able to understand the concepts behind keyword arguments and varying arguments by going through this material. As part of the next section, which is nothing but user-defined functions, those are covered quite extensively. You should be able to understand the concepts behind the varying arguments. So this is nothing but a varying argument and also keyword argument. Once you go through those things, come back here if you don't understand and go to this topic once again, and the concepts should be clear. That being said, even though input and print comes quite handy when it comes to learning process, we should not be using these functions as part of our applications. In place of print, we typically use a logging framework where the information will be logged into a log file or the console. When it comes to taking the input, we typically take the input directly from the end user using a web interface, which will be converted to a REST API request, which will be coming to the Python-based code. We will not be using input for that. You need to understand the web application frameworks for that. Even with respect to data engineering applications, if you have to pass certain information, we pass that information as arguments to the functions. We typically don't use input to take the input from the user. It is not a good practice at all. Everything should be running without someone typing the responses in real world scenario. That's where we will not be using print and input that often in actual application development process, but they will help you streamlining your learning experience, and hence spend some time to understand these 2 important functions.